Welcome to Career Bits, the weekly podcast for the University Career Center of UNC Charlotte. Each week on Career Bits, we provide a briefing on resources, hiring trends, and Career Center activities for students and alums. And talking with me today is Lindsay Carter from Flexcare Medical Staffing. She is the corporate recruiter. And Lindsay, we're so glad to have you here on Career Bits. Thanks for joining us.
No problem. Thanks so much for having me. Always good to partner with you guys.
Yeah, you guys have been great partners with us throughout the last year. And really what I want to talk to you about is what it's like for you as a recruiter during COVID-19. How are you finding and connecting with candidates right now?
Yeah, so it's been a little, kind of a double-edged sword. We've got a lot of people that we are able to connect with who are, actively looking for positions, whether it's people that are just graduating or people that have found themselves unexpectedly out of work. But we're really trying to connect with people still on LinkedIn through a lot of the different job boards and through a lot of outreach like this. It's been fantastic to be able to connect with people. And even if it's not a situation where we have a position that might work for them, it's great to be able to at least help to provide some insight into what people can do to kind of set themselves apart and just kind of be able to give back to everyone as well. It's just been a little challenging with the uncertainty. And we still definitely have needs, but then trying to temper that with our availability and access to people to do the training for us for new hires to make sure that we're still giving people that best experience. So it's been kind of a little bit of a roller coaster, but I think that's pretty par for the course for everyone right now.
Yeah, it sounds like it from other folks we've talked to as well. Real quick, as you're looking for candidates on LinkedIn and things, what are some things that a student can do that will help them stand out right now to potential recruiters?
Absolutely. I think just making sure that your profile is fully complete. Take the time to add in some details for any positions that you've had to kind of give recruiters like myself an idea of what exactly your skill set that you're using at that position, or if it's an internship or even going through school and adding things, any extracurricular activities. A lot of times we're doing keyword searches versus just looking for a specific title. Especially with Flexcare, we are hiring a lot for an entry-level recruiter position. And because of that, we are often looking for people that don't necessarily have the same experience. But if there are some different keywords in there, relationship building, candidate matching, things like that, anything that's relatable, I think that's a great way to do it. There's always a button that you can, or an option that you can select that also lets employers and recruiters know that you are open to hearing from them about new opportunities. And that's definitely, I think, another way. Other things you can do are putting some, in your heading, putting what you're looking for so that at a quick glance, people can see what it is you're looking for and if they might have something that would be a good fit. Another thing I think would be to get some recommendations, request that supervisors or professors or even peers that you've worked with do write a reference or a recommendation for you on your LinkedIn page as well.
Yeah, those things are great. And there's even a good tutorial on LinkedIn of how you can go about getting recommendations and how to do them. So I highly recommend students follow through on that as well. Lindsay, specifically for Flexcare, you mentioned the recruiter role that you're hiring for. What kind of things are you looking for in a candidate, and then where can people find more information about it?
Absolutely. So we are looking for people that kind of the soft skills that don't really, again, show up on a resume. So people who are really self-motivated, that driven personality who is just kind of, relentlessly driven to hit that goal. People that are very, looking for a career. It's a great position to come into entry level, but definitely can turn into career. That's kind of what happened with me. I fell into it and it ended up turning into a career. So people that want to come in, stay long-term, learn what they can. Another thing is I think just people that are willing to come in and really be a sponge, soak up all the information. Our recruiter position is unique because with us, the recruiters are managing their candidates throughout the entire process. So they don't pass them off at any given point. So there is a lot to learn, but it's a great skill set. You'll learn, everything from some entry-level relationship sales to kind of persuasion and all the way through kind of the back end piece. So learning some of the payroll, the HR laws, things like that. So it's a very comprehensive position. One thing we have found is the health systems management major. Those candidates seem to be very well prepared as far as having a good idea of the way healthcare systems operate, but then also the kind of the people skills portion of it. We've also found great luck with student athletes in the past as well.
Can you talk a little bit about how Flexcare as a company has handled the COVID situation and how you all are working remotely? I know you're in California. We've got representatives here in the North Carolina area. How has the company really responded to this, and what has gone so well for y'all? Because you've been one of our more active employers, even in the advent of all the stay-at-home orders.
Well, I think one thing, and this is something I think we've always done very well, is we are just very, we think on our feet. And, if we recognize that there's something that we need to do and make a change, then we are not afraid to kind of implement that. So we have had, I would say 90% of this entire staff, both in California and out there in Charlotte, have been working remotely since about, I want to say the third week in March. We are using a lot of the tools, online with Zoom meetings and with Teams, and just trying to make sure that we're all connected. Constant communication. Our leadership team meets 2 to 3 times a week to just go over updates and, if there's new things that we need to roll out. We had a group of recruiters that were supposed to start, one group here in California and one in Charlotte. Late last week, found out we ended up needing to push them out until about the end of June. Obviously not an easy decision for anyone to make, but I think we realized that we want to give the best experience we can to the new candidates. And we had a lot of our people that do the training are just, in a situation where they're not comfortable coming into the office. And so as hard of a decision as it was, I think it's the right decision for everyone involved. And if we can hold on to people for that June date, then great. And we are still moving forward with June 24th. I think it's a good sign with a lot of the states and some of the restrictions easing up, that June date will be, perfect for us, and we'll be able to move forward. But we're just kind of doing a lot of constant temperature checks with, how everyone's feeling, what we're able to do, what we're able to accommodate in the office. And then just making sure with the employees, we've been checking in with our employees once a week at minimum, making sure that, they're all doing okay outside of work, that they're, if people have family issues and, if they've got spouses or any other stresses, we want to make sure that we're all sensitive to that, so that we can all just make sure that we're giving each other a lot of grace and working together best we can, helping out whenever we can.
That is great. Lindsay, again, thank you for joining us on Career Bits. Tell folks how they can follow you on LinkedIn.
Absolutely. So you can look me up. I am Lindsay Carter on LinkedIn. You can also look at the Flexcare Medical Staffing page on LinkedIn. Have a lot of our jobs and just different postings on there. Also Facebook, follow us on there. We've got some great different posts we do with our travelers. You can kind of get an idea of what we do. And then our openings and application are always on our website, which is www.flexcarestaff.com.
Thanks again, Lindsay.
Thanks, Jay.
And now Patrick, Matthew, and Jesse are here to provide even more information. Welcome back, everyone.
Hey, Jay. Hey, Jesse. Hey, Matt.
I'm glad everybody's doing well. Got a lot of cool stuff. Just got done talking with Lindsay Carter from Flexcare Medical Staffing. And I know we've got some more employers and jobs and opportunities to highlight. And Jesse, we're going to start with you this week.
Awesome. Yeah. So as of this morning, there are over 1,400 jobs in Hire a Niner. So these are including full-time roles, internships, part-time jobs, and campus positions for next academic year. Make sure Hire a Niner is on your rotation if you're an active job seeker. So here are a couple of cool remote or virtual roles that I came across. Virtual Associate Consultant at Viva Systems. Research Square has a bunch of open positions like Academic Editor in Business and Academic Editor in Math and Computer Science, Platform Software Engineer, and more. There's also a ton of non-remote positions available. Graduating seniors going into the education field, make sure to check out the wide variety of teaching and counseling positions that were recently posted in Hire a Niner. And also, culture and heritage museums have a couple of cool open internships like public relations and living history. I saw that the American Cancer Society is looking for a social media engagement intern, and the World Affairs Council of Charlotte is also looking for an intern this summer. So lots of really cool stuff out there. That's just a tiny, tiny sampling of great opportunities that continue to be posted with us on a daily basis. So make sure your resume is looking sharp, it's been approved in Hire a Niner, and start applying.
Very cool stuff. Matthew, you had a neat series that Netflix is putting together.
Yeah, so, Netflix is broken down based on their different types of programming they do. So Netflix Animation is actually still hiring right now, and they're doing a bunch of cool virtual series around those who are interested in being involved in the animation world. So that's if you want to be an animator, if you want to be a storyboard artist, if you're looking to use your graphic design in that area. So check out Netflix and all of their awesome ways that you can do that. You can also go to jobs.netflix.com to see all the cool stuff they're hiring for, because animators can do their job from home.
Yeah, very cool stuff. And while we're talking about job postings, it's worth mentioning, gang, always be aware out there of job posting scams. And that's kind of something to be aware of at all times, but particularly now when it gets close to graduation time each semester, the scammers really ramp it up. And with the COVID-19 situation and stuff, we've seen even more of that. The Career Center's got resources. If you go to career.uncc.edu, one of our scrolling images is how to avoid scams. But just some things to remember, like never give your bank information or any of that stuff to anybody that requests it via email. Don't agree to have something directly deposited for you or make arrangements like that. Some of this sounds, duh, right? But people fall for it all the time. Don't forward anything by courier or any of that stuff. And if you're not sure about it, if it seems too good to be true, probably is. So just communicate with us at the Career Center. We can look at it for you. And if you're suspicious about an email, send it to the IT security email, which is reportspam-group@uncc.edu. We really appreciate the fact that a lot of you are very diligent about that. You can spot those real quick. You let us know about them. We try to respond back very quickly with those as well. But just be aware that those are out there, and know this, that scam emails don't go through HireNiner, and we never send your resume out unless you're in a publicly open, opted-in resume book, and we will let you know when that happens. So if Patrick's going to send out your resume to ABC organization, he's going to say, hey, I'm sending your resume because you're in this resume book. Here's the job. If you hear from Sharon Johnson, that's what it's about. We try to be very transparent with that. So just be aware and be diligent about those kind of scammy things that are out there right now. Patrick, you had some specific employers you wanted to give a shout out to as well.
Yeah, definitely to finish this segment, some positive shout outs to our friends over at Ally, Lowe's, Amazon, U.S. Census, Dollar General, Truist, Wells Fargo, Walmart, Food Lion, Harris Teeter, and more. Thank you for continuing to throw out more jobs to our community and all our students and all those who are looking for a transition.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of cool things out there. Now, beyond jobs, lots of neat resources out there. Matthew and Jesse, y'all have got a few you wanted to highlight this week. So, Jesse, we'll toss it back to you for these.
Yeah, so I wanted to highlight real quick LinkedIn Learning. It's a really cool resource for those of you who are looking to increase key skills that employers are looking for in candidates, and or you're just looking to broaden your knowledge on a variety of topics. With LinkedIn Learning, you can access over 15,000 expert-led courses. You can cancel at any time. The first month is free, so I want to highlight that. It is a paid subscription beyond the first month, but might as well take advantage of 1 month of free courses. If you do opt into completing a full course, you can earn a certificate, which you can, again, then publicize on your LinkedIn profile. And there's lots of cool topics like leading without formal authority, persuasive coaching, developing your emotional intelligence, and more. So I thought that was a really cool thing if you're looking for another way to add some new tools to your belt.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a really cool stuff. Matthew, you've also got some LinkedIn highlight things that are free out there and good resources for students.
Yeah, definitely. And this actually just recently came out. So, Jesse, you're about to be #super stoked. So those LinkedIn Learning courses, they are now free thanks to LinkedIn as a way to help those who are being affected by the COVID crisis. They've turned a lot of their LinkedIn Learning things free, as well as a lot of their other resources. So if you look on the right-hand corner, when you go to your LinkedIn front page profile, it'll say LinkedIn Learning, and that will take you into their whole plethora of different videos that Jesse was talking about. It'll also be a really great way for you to go in and again, get those certifications. But I would also really recommend follow Rob Humphrey on LinkedIn. So he is the main go-to guy when it comes to college students and using LinkedIn. So he can also kind of help direct you. He does virtual free events. So it's a really cool way for him to connect with you and also to share different LinkedIn practices with you.
I love that keyword free, free, free.
Absolutely. Great stuff. Jesse, you have some things that our continuing education office is offering in terms of professional development series as well for our, not only students, but our alums.
Yes, and also keyword here, it's free. So this is a really cool option as well. So look into LinkedIn Learning. Also look into UNC Charlotte's Office of Continuing Education for a free webinar series that tackles some of today's most pressing leadership challenges. So some examples of some upcoming webinars they have going on. May 20th, Coaching for Success. one on June 3rd, priority planning for maximum results, the power of personality in the workplace, building a positive work environment, and more. So really cool tools out there that are free for you to use through our continuing ed office.
Lots of cool events coming up as well. Jesse, we'll just keep it with you. You've got some cool things coming up, and then also some resources you wanted to highlight for all of us that are stuck in Zoom land and doing this kind of work for a little while.
Yeah, so I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. On Tuesday, April 28th at 12 o'clock p.m. noon, we are having Austin Bristow, who's a former TEDx speaker and a veteran, quote unquote, of remote work, join us to talk about personal productivity essentials working from home. So this is going to be a really cool hour just to learn some tools, some strategies for productivity as whether you're a student wrapping up classes and finals, or you are an alum working full-time, or you're doing both. So this is open for students and alumni, and you can find more details on it in Hire a Niner. I also wanted to highlight some super cool resources for alumni, like 49er Zoom backgrounds via the Alumni Association website. They've compiled some really awesome resources for alumni to help navigate through COVID-19 and the transitions many of us are facing right now. In addition to direct links to resources on campus, like to us, the Career Center, they've also created really cool 49er specific Zoom backgrounds. They also are offering business digital stickers to have a 49er alumni owned business digital sticker added to your website for those of you who are 49er business owners. And for those of you who have kids, or even yourself, because we all need to sometimes zone out, they have some fun coloring pages. So check out the website. It's 49eralumni.uncc.edu/COVID.
Very cool stuff. And Patrick, you've got an event coming up with the Peace Corps on April the 28th you wanted to highlight.
Well, you just stole my thunder, but yes, you're exactly right, Jay. So everybody check in Hire Niner, the events area, for more information on the Peace Corps and what they're doing with UNC Charlotte. It's a fantastic organization that has been around for decades and support a lot of different initiatives around the world.
On that note, Patrick, Bank of America is holding an info session, a virtual session on April the 30th for data science interested candidates. And so you can find more information about that on Hire Niner as well. It's in the career event section on how you register, and you can join their event as well. You do have to register for it, but the link is in the little poster. So make sure you do that as well. Lots of cool stuff going on. And Matthew says he's got another event as well.
Hey, before Matt jumps in, I want to give a plug to our School of Data Science. They're now accepting undergrads for this coming fall. Brand new school, and very big in this state and nation.
Data science, actually, I have so many employers ask about that. So now that we have that undergraduate program, we are going to be rocking it out. So it's definitely going to be a really awesome program to get involved in. But this just came in. I just confirmed that on Tuesday, May 5th, we are going to have Making It in the News Media Industry career meetup at 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. with Vanessa Bernard. She's actually a friend of mine who I have known since undergraduate. When we worked at Abercrombie and Fitch together as young ones in undergrad, and she works for MSNBC right now as a segment producer. So, even though there is a lot of layoffs and, COVID things happening, news still has to happen. So we still have those positions that are actually hiring with Time Warner Media, MSNBC, etc. But her career path has been awesome. She's been an associate producer. She's been a tape and video associate producer. A production assistant is how she started out in the career. So this is going to be a great way for students to get kind of right on, the very beginning, working their way up through their career. She's been with MSNBC since after her first internship. So she's been there for about 7 years now. So this should be a great time.
All right, everybody, that's a great bunch of resources. It's time for Patrick's final thought of the week. Patrick?
Fantastic. So this whole idea of what a career center is and careers and jobs, a lot of people ask me, what exactly is a career? And, the first thing that comes to mind, or to everybody's mind, is it's just a bunch of jobs that you do over time and then you retire and then you finally get to do what it is that you want to do. Wrong. A career is really an expression of who you think you are. And so when you think about what a career center does, when you think about what higher education is all about, whether it's community college, four-year colleges, or learning new things online, it's about designing who you are. It's about designing your life. It's about designing your career. And that's what we're all about. And that's what everything that it is that we do for you and how we try to help you make a difference for you, who you are. So I'm going to leave you with a quote with one of my favorite theorists, Carl Rogers. And he said that the good life is a process, not a state of being. It is a direction and not a destination. So everybody, design your career, design your life.